Hello everybody, how you doing? It's Damon yet again, and this time I will talk about the best movie openings. What are the best movie opening scenes of all time? And in this case, I will not rank them, more like I'll just list them out. Obviously, anybody who knows me knows I'm going to put one thing in common. That's right, I'm going to put on The Room. I mean, produced by Tommy Wiseau, written by Tommy Wiseau, starring Tommy Wiseau, directed by Tommy Wiseau. Why not? Why the hell not? Sorry, burped. I mean, oh hi, darling, exactly the way it is. Like, and use the same score, same team song all the time because you only pay for that. This and Neil Breen are awesome on this one. So yeah, that's my joke honorable mention because it still makes me laugh to this day. What else can I say about the Dark Knight? Dark Knight, the way it starts with the bank heist from the get-go, you know what kind of movie you're into it. I love the fact that Nolan movies, you didn't see the title until the end. It basically plunges you right in your start, and the theme music of Hans Zimmer, the score of Hans Zimmer really plunge you in the action. So that's very good. The 6 minute ice was I think was a prologue on IMAX, and it's like already there. It's like, oh boy, there's gonna be something different. You see it, it's awesome. And I would put it as a tie, Dark Knight Rises, seeing the plane heist. You see a pattern there with the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. It started with basically establishing the bad guy in the movie, and both of them are awesome, but I would give the edge to the bank heist in Dark Knight. But both are awesome. I mean, this established Heath Ledger's Joker right there, or Tom Hardy's Bane from the get-go, whereas one is anarchist, so basically only care about chaos. The other one is more organized and prioritize basically being a menace and restore balance no matter what. So both are happen to be very menacing, very dangerous for different reasons. In another Batman movie, but not from the same director, you have Batman 89 and Batman Returns. Batman 89 already there. I mean, the Warner Brothers logo. I always love when they change the Warner Brothers logo, and if they get it sold, it's gonna be sad if you don't see it anymore. I love that the fact it used to be always very sky blue in the background, and now it was dark blue as in the night. And already there, the awesome Danny Elfman team plays. And at first, you think you're gonna see the Wayne parents, Bruce Wayne's parents, get shot in the opening of the movie. No, they were just a random couple who were getting mugged, and both of them start discussing on top of a rooftop. One of them is paranoid, the other one just gleefully takes the money. But in the background, you see Michael Keaton's Batman slowly descend the background, and he takes care of them. Takes the paranoid one gets honestly the lesser. You just get the basically. Let's just say that Batman went easy on this. He went gently on this one. He just gave him a kiss. Yeah, that was it. But on the more corrupted of the two teams, he hangs them basically beside basically the on the edge of a rooftop. And when they ask him, I'm not gonna eliminate you. I just want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me. What are you? I'm Batman. And it's an improv live from Michael Keaton was supposed to say I'm vengeance, which Robert Pattinson would say. And I think that's better that it's I'm Batman. And already there establishes that it's not gonna be your Adam West Batman, it's gonna be a serious Batman, even though it was played by the guy who did Beetlejuice. And it's like, damn was awesome, and it sets the mood for the rest of the movie. I don't care if they say it's not a Batman purist take. I don't care. Nolan is more of a purist take, but it's not all the way purist either. And I think that's the best thing with Batman. If you're just straight by the book, if that's gonna be the case, then watch the animated series. Because even the comic books aren't all about the purist takes on Batman. But I really like this and set the mood for this. That's about Batman. And I I mentally look at this from that first movie on. I thought Batman did not break his one rule until he found out who the main culprit was behind the death of his parents, and it was Jack Napier. The moment it happened, I could see he was becoming unhinged and he didn't care anymore. But until then, you kind of see that he tries just to immobilize or cripple maybe criminals, but he doesn't want to arm them more than that. That's how I feel, at least, about it. But the whole movie is great. And Batman Returns, I don't like as much as Batman 89, but there's things I really like about it. For example, the way it starts off, very, very like weird, very, very cold and dark. Like like Osgood Cobblepot is born to a wealthy family like Bruce Wayne, except he doesn't lose his parents. His parents abandon him right from the get-go. So it's like a basically a difference with Batman there with Bruce Wayne. It's kind of like setting him up to be opposite of this. It's like also saying what Bruce Wayne could have been if he was abandoned his parents rather than his parents being taken from him. And yeah, Tim Burton went the weird gothic take rather than basically comic book accurate take. But then there's some things I felt were better off because it felt more natural, more organic from Tim Burton rather than just I'll just fixate on a comic book. So but it really, really sets up the mood for that movie. Another great opening movie, Shrek. Shrek 1. You expect basically at the first that, hey, you know what, first, oh, it's gonna be somebody, I think was the Prince Charming is gonna save the princess. You think something? No, it's Shrek just reading a comic, basically a fairy tale book, and you have All Star from Smash Mouth playing. It's like that sets up how, he's breaking the mold. How basically Shrek is breaking the mold. He's not what you expect to be, and he happens to be. It's what happens that basically you switch the ogre is on the eel is the face, and the in Prince Charming is the eel. And the second one, has something similar when Prince Charming tries to rescue the princess, but it's too late, and you have basically a big bad wolf saying, "Hey, she's on vacation." And I thought it was very funny. So I really enjoyed that. Uh, about Raiders of the Lost Ark. You establish basically who Indiana Jones is right from the get-go. He tries to get the treasure, but basically he doesn't see treasure as a way to get rich. He sees treasures as something that needs to be, well, he sees artifacts as a way to be preserved as a mean of remembering history. And the bolder thing shows how he's bold, how Indiana Jones might take risks, but ultimately cares about the hat. The hat is very important for him, and it doesn't beat you over the head. What he care basically, it doesn't beat you over the head about the hat thing, but it's very very important to his lore. How about another thing? How about the Naked Gun? I praise that movie. The first one to me is the best opening because at first, hey, the opening of Naked Gun, the first one from the Files of Police Squad, makes you think it's gonna be a different kind of movie. You think, okay, that was the right movie because there's no Leslie Nielsen. I mean, and all of a sudden he shows up, burns somebody with a tea kettle, and then fight in very hilarious manner. And then he says Frank Driven, and then he slips off the he slips off basically a window, and whoa, and then you have the classic Naked Gun team playing as long as the opening with the police car, which I felt like should have been also in this 2025 movie. It was very, very funny. And he establishes the basically what kind of movie you're gonna see for the rest of them. And I love that Naked Gun, Frank Driven or Frank Driven Jr. and with played by Liam Neeson, none of them know how to park a car safely. I love that gag. Simple but effective. Another opening that I cannot omit is Scream. All the time you think Drew Barrymore's on this. Drew Barrymore's the biggest star. She's going to survive. She's going to be a survivor. Or at least going to be a main character. This. Not only she's not a main character, not only does her character not survive the movie, she gets eliminated in the first scene. And that basically showed how this movie, basically anything could go. And I really enjoyed this. It really sets up the ambiance, and honestly, it sets up the intrigue for the rest of the movie. So yeah, another personal favorites, it's TMNT 990. Again, it starts off with sort of New York City. You don't show the turtles right away. You see April O'Neil trying to walk home, but then she's threatened by the Foot Clan. And then you see a creature in the dark. You don't see it completely. And out of nowhere, it saves this. Basically, it jumps out of the shadow and goes to the against the Foot Clan. And while it's in midair, it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I like the freeze frame there because it works. And Raphael kicked the Foot Clan's ass, not without leaving his trademark sigh behind. And it was important because it established what kind of movie it was. It's. I love the fact it's in the darkness. They interfere in the night, and I thought it was better than the other movies there because it's like in TMNT 3 Even TMNT2 knew that you have to have the turtles fight during nighttime. In the third one, they have fought during daytime, and this is when it felt that the cheaper costume they were in the third one really showed how cheap they were. So that's very important there. I mean, you need to have an effective, basically, if you have to use costume for the turtles, you have to make sure they're not cheap. And two, you have to make sure that the turtles fight in nighttime so you don't know. So you don't know in this case, what's this? So you don't know about the true nature of the costume. Another movie in 990 that I thought was a great opening and it's one of the greatest one is what I think is Martin Scorsese's magnus opus, Goodfellas. Like the first line from from Ray Liotta's Henry Hill, it's like you're already drawn to what's going to happen, but you know it's a flashback to basically what happened to get it for him to get that spot. And I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it's Joe Pesci's best role, and he played pretty much that kind of character in Casino. And you have Robert De Niro. Like, yeah, Casino didn't play the same kind of character, but this one is very good as well. To me, it's Ray Liotta. I don't see how Ray Liotta was not nominated for this movie. Lauren Bracco was nominated for this movie, and this movie, honestly, was the best movie of 990. Dances with Wolves is good, but kind of overrated. I think basically Goodfellas the better movie of the two, and a great opening right from the get-go. In 1984, you had Ghostbusters, a great movie, but let's be honest, the opening sets up the rest of the movie. Like at the library, a librarian's trying to, I think it's a night, to try to show her book, probably finish her work shift, but she keeps hearing some sheets rattle against the wind. And she goes checking up, and basically she just sees, and eventually every sheet just fly in the air, and she sees on the ghost and practical effects. It wasn't CGI and practical effects, and kind of made it kind of scary. So kind of know it's a comedy, but with supernatural and a bit scary moments. And right there, you go from the theme song of the Ghostbusters, establishing it has some horror movie tropes, but it's a pretty much a comedy, and it's very very important there. And finally, of my list, you have Terminator 2. It starts with Judgment Day and establish basically what's going to happen. And you start off with basically the war in the future, and he brings basically he's not going to bring John Connor back, but he brings the T100, the T101, which is Arnold. And this time you think Arnold at first basically takes the clothes like he did in the first one, so you think, oh no, he's going to be the bad guy again. And then you have basically Robert Patrick, who basically takes a cop's outfit, and you don't see him kill at first. So you think he's gonna be a good guy, but then later on it's revealed that Robin Patrick, the T-1000, is the actual bad guy, and this time the Terminator is the good guy, and that's very important there. So to me, those are some of my favorite movie openings of all time. You can also say Up. Up is also in that case. Like the movie opening scene is very, very. It explains everything you need to do about Carl, his character, his motivations, and why he's a shut-in nowadays, why he doesn't involve himself in the world. In the same year, 2009, you also had a great opening with Inglourious Bastards. Hans Landa is a creepy villain, but it's also when you watch him, you can't take your eyes away from him. He seems to be two, three steps above. Again, a great villain, a movie that starts with a great villain in the first opening scene, sets up the rest of the movie, and can actually make a movie more intriguing. So, let me know what your favorite let me know what your favorite opening scenes of a movie are, and I'll check back with you later. Later, guys.